Despite train delays and waiting 1 hour to get in the Pokemon Center, I'm actually here. So for my first ever big tournament, aside from going to locals every other week, it was very rammed. There was a lot of people there. I saw a few familiar faces. Things could have been better organised, especially with the Pokemon Center, because there was you book a time slot, you come in, and then they let you in. We had a time slot for 6 o'clock. We didn't get in until 7:15. But it's fine. I've signed up. We picked everything up. We got what we wanted. And now I'm going to go to bed soon. But quickly, I want to go over everything that you get, basically, or everything that I got. So, of course, you have your badge. I'm doxing myself by putting my name on, but it doesn't matter. So I believe the spectator badge is different. Yeah, so my brother's with me. He's sat right behind me. Spectator badge and competitor badge. So you got Sandy Shocks and then Iron Valley, and that's it. You also get the mat, as you see right here. Very nice. Camera's a bit wobbly. I'm sorry about that. But you get this mat. Very, very nice. People are already reselling them on eBay. You get some Iron Valiant sleeves. There better be 60 in here. I don't intend to use them, but it's nice. You get an Iron Valiant pin, which I will probably never put on anything. And you get an Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon, or just Paradox deck box, which sounds like it has dividers in it. And then you also get a Nest Ball promo card. I probably won't use this. It'll just sit in my binder, or I'll trade it for something. There was a few people going around to other people being like, hey, you're selling your Nest Ball, you're trading your Nest Ball. And then there's also a cap. I don't wear caps. I prefer to wear beanies, but it could be useful for summer. And then in terms of the Pokemon Center, I did get some of the exclusive items. I wasn't going for everything. I got the mat, which comes in a very nice drawstring bag. It still has this, what is this? So here is the exclusive European International Championship Playmat with, I think it's Armor Rouge and Cell Rouge, I think it is. And then there's the sleeves. Very nice. I also got a pin. I only got one because I prefer Cell Rouge over Armor Rouge. I did use Cell Rouge when I played Pokemon Violet. And then I also got a shirt. All the XLs were sold out, so I got a double XL. So before I head to bed, because I do need to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I just want to quickly go over what deck I've decided to play. And well, the man is right here. We're playing Ancient Box. I'll probably do a separate video going over this in more detail, but just to be pretty quick. For Baby Roaring Moon is your main attacker. Over the course of the game, it gets more powerful as more ancient cards end up in the discard. Roaring Moon EX for Charizard, because Charizard is this deck's hardest matchup. Koraidon for the early game, because you can hit 150 or 180 depending on your bench, and it's also very easy to set up. Free Flutter Mane, because if you can get it in the active turn 1, depending on the matchup, you can just lock out your opponent. Comfy, Chien-Pao, it stops Chien-Pao, it stops anything in the active, and sometimes your opponent won't play around it, so they might evolve a Charizard in the active, and well, they can't accelerate 2 energy from the deck. I'm playing Great Tusk over the Slitherwing, mainly because Slitherwing's only good against Iron Hands, and you can one-hit KO Iron Hands pretty easily anyway. And Iron Hands isn't really that much of a threat for this deck because everything's above 120, and with Ancient Booster, it goes to 200 HP. Greninja to get energy in the discard and draw cards. 4 Sada to draw cards and accelerate energy from the discard. 4 Explorer to see cards and also get stuff in the discard. You kind of have to play this because it's an ancient, even though it's a pretty terrible card. 1 Boss's Orders and 1 Roxanne. I do like the inclusion of Roxanne because you do tend to get behind a lot because you kind of want your stuff to get knocked out. You're very fast-paced deck, but you take the game very slowly, if that makes sense. And free Pokegear, because we definitely want to see a supporter every turn, because if we don't, then we're going to be very far behind. Consistency cards, 4 Nest Balls, so we can get stuff out of the deck. 1 Ultra Ball, because it discard cards and also gets your Pokemon. Earthen Vessel, it discards cards and gets you energy. 2 Counter Catcher, because you're going to be behind. 2 Dark Patch, because we play Dark. 1 Super Rod for the long game. 1 Superior, because it discards cards and gets energy back. 1 Lost Vacuum for the Mirror and also Future Box, so you can get rid of what's it called? Iron Baton, Metal Baton, whatever it's called. And Awakening Drum, because we like drawing cards. 2 Artisan to get Pokemon, 1 Pokestop to get trainers, and also fuel our discard. 4 Booster, 1 Defiance Band. Booster is an ancient card for Roaring Moon. It also can give you 200 HP. And Defiance Band, because again we're going to be behind on the game, so additional 30 damage kind of does mean something. And then for the energy, 6 Darkness, 3 Fighting. I have made a few last minute changes. I was originally playing 2 Super Rod. I took a second one out for 3rd Pokegear, and I am pretty content with the list. I don't expect to do well because I've done absolutely no testing, so I heavily expect to go X and 4 drop, and then spend my last 2 days just chilling around London. I am now going to head to bed because I am very tired, and I've got however many rounds of Pokemon to play tomorrow morning. I didn't do well. So as I said, I went into this event with literally no testing whatsoever because I couldn't make the time. So I basically just built the deck off of other deck lists that I've done well, and many things I didn't take into account is that control is a matchup firstly. So I built the deck mainly to go up against meta, Charizard, Chien-Pao, Arceus Tina, Future Box, everything that's like going to be there that is good. And I ended up facing like 50% rogue, 50%... No, it was 50% rogue, 10% meta, and then 40% B tier decks. Like, the deck wasn't built bad. I just had very unlucky matchups. So my matchups, round 1 was Great Tusk Mill. The guy was really nice. He was really kind, very talkative. We talked a lot after the match. He was pretty cool. I can't remember his name. It was a bit weird at first because I also played 1 Great Tusk in my deck, so we flipped them up, and we just stared at each other and like, I think he was thinking in his head, is this a mirror match? And he took game 1, and then game 2, I already knew the strategy. It's basically get Roaring Moon into play and don't bench anything else. And I had to bench a Greninja to draw through my deck, and he basically outmilled me before I could outprice him, and he won that game. Round 2 was Tina Box. The guy was pretty new to the game, I felt, because he activated Mirage Gate and attached 2 of the same energy, which I didn't notice at the time, but I let him off because it didn't really change the state of the game. I still won, but afterwards I did give him some advice because he was evolving his Giratinas, and I was like, you don't need to do that because you can shred for 160, which is enough to knock out anything that I play except the Roaring Moon EX, so you can save yourself from lost zoning 2 energy every single turn. It was also a case of like game 2, I had Fluttermane in the active for like 3 turns and he literally couldn't play the game. And then round 3 was God of War Burnett. I hate Burnett. I think Burnett is probably one of the worst designed cards in the game. Cards that basically lock you out of an entire aspect of the game are just not fun to play against. A card that literally says you can't do this during your next turn, like you can't play cards from your hand. Yeah, that's not fun. Pokemon Company International, Creatures Inc. That's not fun. Can we not print those types of cards, please? But he took game 1, and then he took game 2, which I could have won because I didn't read that God of War does 190 damage, and I discarded an Ancient Booster when I should have just equipped it, and then I could have won. But no. Listen, it was round 3, and I was already getting tired. So at that point, I was 1-2. I was considering dropping, but I thought, you know what, I'll play out. There's a possibility. Round 4, Raging Bolt. Can I go up against like 1 deck that's meta, please? This one was pretty easy because he's taking 1 prize every turn, I'm taking 2 prizes. This is just a very easy matchup. You go for the Sandy Sharks. He also benched Mew EX both games, which is an instant KO because it's weak to darkness. It's a very convincing game, a very easy game. We did get a judge call. I had a Roaring Moon in the active with 1 energy, and I declared an attack with it, and he said, oh, you don't have the energy, so now it passes the turn over to me. That just doesn't make any sense. As a ex-Yu-Gi-Oh player and a Yu-Gi-Oh judge, yes, I am a Yu-Gi-Oh judge, that doesn't make any sense. Pokemon rulings just sometimes don't make sense because I'm so used to like the aspect of like, if you can't do A, it's like if you can't do B, if you can't do A. So it's like, I don't have the energy, so I can't like declare an attack. It's not possible. But for some reason in Pokemon it's like, oh, you don't have the energy, but you can still declare an attack, and then your attack just doesn't happen, and then it passes turn. But even then, it didn't matter. The judge just came over and said, oh yeah, this blah 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 blah. He also said, you can appeal if you want, but it wouldn't matter. That's reassuring. I heard from quite a few people that the judges at the event weren't very nice and didn't really seem to care about everybody else's well-being. One of my friends told me that his child got shouted at and he reported it, and the judges didn't care. They were more interested running the event. He has told me that he reported that, and I hope something gets done about it. But yeah, I won that round. We're 2-2 going into round 5, and it's another control deck. Pidgeot control. Yeah, I just lost because they gussed up Greninja, and then they put Mawile into play that says you can't retreat, or Snorlax is in the active. I didn't have any switch cards in the deck, so I just lost. At this point, I was pretty tilted. Round 6 didn't help. Future Box, I went first. I didn't see any other Pokemon, and then he went Miraidon, attach, bench 4, Iron Crown, game. Game 2, I bricked incredibly bad. I didn't see a supporter for like the first 3 turns of the game, and he just killed me, and then I dropped because I was incredibly tilted and incredibly annoyed, and I couldn't be bothered playing it out because I would have to win every single game afterwards in order to even get like championship points, which I don't have any, so I'm not going to Honolulu. Even though I was annoyed and even though I was tilted, it's a learning experience. It was my first ever big Pokemon event. I enjoyed myself. It was very fun. There was a lot of cool stuff there. They had like a display of all the games with the console. That was pretty cool. They had like a game area where you could do like little things, little mini games. You could throw stuff at some cardboard cutouts. They had a Pokemon Coliseum set up. That's cool. We walked past later on and someone was fighting like the final boss of the game. Even though I didn't top, even though we didn't win, even though I didn't do good, I at least won 2 games, and I now know like what to change in the deck, take out, what to improve upon. I've learned a lot, not just about the game, but how to improve myself as a player, and I would go again. Like, I would definitely go again. And even though I didn't make day 2, I still got to chill around in London for 2 days as a UK resident. London is absolutely disgusting. You would go to like one area and it would be like really rich, and then you turn the corner and you're in the slums. I didn't get stabbed though, so that's a plus. But yeah, I was wanting to film a lot more at the event. I was wanting to talk a lot more, but I guess I just got sidetracked and I just didn't really think it was worth it. You know, your third loss, it's just like, okay, I'm not in a good mood at the moment, but I still enjoyed myself. I would go again. Yeah, I had fun. That's all that matters. I didn't win, but I had fun, and I got some cool things. I got cool things from the Pokemon Center. I've got a cool lanyard now with a bunch of pins on it, so if I ever go to other events, I can take that lanyard and put my badge on it. That's pretty cool. I do think some things could have been done different at the venue though, because the Pokemon Center, we had like a 6 PM time slot. We didn't get in till 6:45. That is not 6 PM. But whoever was managing that, things needed to be different about that. It was probably overbooked and like they didn't really think about it. But I can't think of anything else to talk about. Nope, I can't think of anything else. I think I'll wrap up the video here. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force you to, though please do. And I will see you in the next video, whatever that video may be. Good night, and enjoy this Elite Trainer Box speedrun attempt. Personal best, not sure if it's a world record yet.